I really
That's like even like
I'm reciting Gary Yourofsky is the best speech you'll ever hear. Please YouTube it. WatchDominion.com. In my own words, every animal is an individual from all species. They all have their own subjective experience. They all suffer equally. They deserve dignity, rights, freedom, and respect to be treated in the spirit of brotherhood. Furthermore, human beings are herbivores. We are plant eaters. Our brains run on sugar. We die from eating meat. This is Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness and the Harvard Nun Study, Oxford Vegetarian Meat Eater Study, Seventh-day Adventist Study 1 and 2, Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, over 100,000 credentialized practitioners that study a lifetime. They agree on this. You can look at Brian Johnson, the most measured and healthiest human being on history. He's vegan. So again, in my own words, a bunch of herbivores holocausting the most vulnerable and innocent individuals on the planet. If you're not a vegan, you're an animal abuser, having the ethics of a child molesting pedophile, someone who takes advantage of the most vulnerable and innocent individuals, ignoring their rights violations for nothing but pleasure. Please YouTube Dare is Scary, WatchDominion.com. Listen to Gary Yourofsky is the best speech you'll ever hear, which I'll do my best to recite now. If you have any questions about animal liberation or veganism, please feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to help you understand. Good afternoon, everybody. Today we're talking about the world's forgotten victims, the animals. The world's oldest and strongest addiction, meat. I'll challenge your belief systems today, so certain parts of this protest will be intense. Let me start with a quick disclaimer. I'm not here to be your enemy. I'm not trying to take you away from your religion. No religion mandates meat eating. The golden rule states, do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Individuals from other species qualify as others. Thou shalt not kill, the four most important yet most ignored words in all religious teachings. There's not an asterisk next to that commandment saying thou shalt not kill unless you walk on all fours, then it's okay. Unless you have feathers, horns, beaks, or gills. I'll be speaking for around 65, maybe 70 minutes, and then we'll do a Q&A after. In the meantime, I have some rhetorical questions for you. Is slavery, owner, victim, profit, domination exclusive to the human race? Have blacks, Jews, women, and children been the only victims of these atrocities? Have not the cows been enslaved? What about pigs, fish, chickens, and sheep? If they are not enslaved, what are they? Free? Can slavery have a victim that is neither human nor non-human animal? Have not the forests, the oceans, the very earth itself become victims of ownership too? But what about a slaughterhouse? A house of slaughter? You really think there's such a thing as humane slaughter? What exactly is your definition of the word humane? Besides psychological, physical abuse, torture, dismemberment, and murder, what do you suppose happens to your victims inside of a slaughterhouse? Think they all get belly rubs and tushy slaps? If you think there's such a thing as humane slaughter, I'm curious, is there such a thing as humane rape, humane child molestation, humane slavery? How about a humane Holocaust? In fact, what is your definition of a Holocaust? Is it the massacre of human beings or the massacre of innocent beings? I thought it was innocent, which brings us to the biggest Holocaust massacre of all. Every year, without mercy, we murder 80 billion land animals and 3 trillion marine animals. Now for health, survival, sustenance, or self-defense, people eat meat, cheese, milk, and eggs for 4 reasons: habit, convenience, tradition, and taste. Yeah, I know why people do it. I did it myself for 25 years. Used to wear leather belts and shoes and jackets like everyone else. In fact, around 20 years ago, I even owned a fur coat. Needless to say, I understand your lifestyle. It used to be mine. Vegans, like vegetarians, do not consume the meat of any land or marine animals. Vegans, however, unlike vegetarians, also refrain from any cheese, milk, eggs, or honey, or any animal products whatsoever. We don't wear animal skins, no fur, leather, wool, silk, or down. Now, I was not raised vegan. Vegan, by the way, when you do that, you can keep your friends, your politics, your patriotism, still watch your favorite TV shows and listen to your favorite music, even if it's Ted Nugent. I'm not a Democrat, an anarchist, a Republican, a socialist, or fascist, or some hippie with a closet full of tie-dye shirts. I'm an activist. Root word is active. I've been banned from 5 countries so far, arrested 13 times for random acts of kindness and compassion on behalf of my animal brothers and sisters, like today, reciting Yourofsky is the best speech you'll ever hear, word for word. If you'd like to read up about that, check out the website 88ptt.org, adapt.org. Today, I would love to give you a chance to actually do something and truly get involved. I understand a lot of people want to get involved, really I do, but putting a coexist bumper sticker on your car, wearing a What Would Jesus Do bracelet, or a Peace and Love and Sunshine t-shirt, it's not getting involved. Understand we're all on a journey in life. We all have different likes and dislikes, nationalities and religions too. There's one thing we need to have in common with each other, and that's peace. Genuine compassion and genuine peace towards our planetary companions. Contrary to political and religious dogma, animals do not belong to us. They're not commodities. They're not inanimate, stupid, non-thinking objects who cannot think and feel. That Descartes Cartesian way of looking at individuals from other species like they're machines is outdated and, quite frankly, 100% insane. Because if we all understand that animals use their eyes to see, noses to smell, mouths to eat, ears to hear, legs to walk, feathers to fly, fins to swim, genitalia to procreate, and bowels to defecate, I'm always perplexed why most people don't believe they can use their brains to think, to feel, to be rational, aware, and self-aware. Am I supposed to believe every body part of all the species function exactly the way they're supposed to, except the brain? Those lies are thick. The propaganda from the animal abusers is enormous. I mean, when was the last time you turned on the TV, saw a commercial for shiitake mushrooms? People singing and dancing, having a great time down the street, eating mushrooms. Up at alfalfa sprouts, radishes, raspberries, quinoa, it's a seed. No, you don't see that stuff advertised on TV. What do you see instead? Have some more meat, have some more cheese. Have some more cheese with your meat, double cheese, extra cheese. How about a little bit more cheese with your meat? Have some eggs, have some more cow's milk. What do you see interspersed between those advertisements? Oh, not feeling so good. Need a heart doctor, a cancer specialist, some Lipitor, Zocor, Crestor, Plavix. How about some diet pills, some energy drinks, some Tums, some Pepto-Bismol? You've been duped. They are literally murdering you. They're killing all the other species and they're killing this entire planet. And your blinders are on nice and tightly. But if you give me an open mind today, and that's all I ask for is just an open mind, I'm gonna take your blinders right off for good. My goal is simple. All I want to do is reconnect people with animals. Reawaken some feelings, some emotions, and some logic that has been intentionally buried and suppressed by our meat-eating society. The reason I say reconnect you with animals is because at one point in time, every person here used to be a real animal liberation activist, a true friend to the animal kingdom. That's when we were little. We were kids, man. We used to be in awe of animals. They used to make us laugh and giggle and smile. They make us pretty happy. There was a time in our lives when we would do just about anything in the world to make them happy as well, to protect them from cruelty, to at least the cruelty they're receiving. I mean, if somebody would unnecessarily murder an animal in front of us when we were little, we would have screamed and cried. Because we used to all understand the difference between right from wrong when it came to the treatment of animals, before somebody taught us and told us differently. You better believe somebody told you to ignore their suffering, to mock and excuse their pain and their misery, to make fun of their very existence. This is something I want you to focus on today, tomorrow, and beyond. What in the hell happened along the way? Who taught us to be so mean, nasty, vicious, and hateful, or indifferent to other species when they used to be our friends? These are innocent victims. They've done nothing wrong to us to deserve the wrath and the cruelty that we hurl onto them. We treat them worse than our worst criminals. We've victimized animals to such a degree they're not even seen as victims anymore. We've commodified them, turned them into luxury items like purses and sandwiches, as if they're TV sets or cell phones. Right now, in this very moment, on our highways, there are no less than 5,000 concentration camp trucks. Inside these trucks are living, terrified individuals. They're not dogs and cats or humans. These are pigs and chickens and turkeys. These trucks are being driven to concentration camp slaughterhouses we carefully constructed all across the country. Closest one is 10 minutes from here on Hastings and Commercial. 10,000 souls perish every day in a murder house. When these trucks arrive, our victims go in alive against their will because workers get on these trucks with electric prods and taser these sweet angels in the face, standard legal Canadian industry practice, to force them down the chutes to their own death. Or if they're small enough to manhandle like chickens or lambs, we'll just grab them off the trucks and throw them inside. Once inside, these living, fully conscious, innocent individuals are hanged upside down. In other words, they go in alive against their will, come out chopped up into hundreds of pieces. With all due respect, you know what's more insane than that? Meat eaters walking around like their lifestyle isn't causing any harm, like it's impossible for us to do any evil. Any crime is legal as long as it doesn't happen to a human being and disrupt society. Now, I hope you appreciate my honesty, my genuineness today. I'm not a politician. I'm not a bullshit artist. I don't know how to schmooze people, as you can tell. It's kind of beyond me. I'm here to talk about the worst form of cruelty and violence that's taking place on this planet, even though most people don't seem to care about it. But when you sit back in the comfort of your own living room and you order some Uber Eats or a pizza, and you start condemning atrocities elsewhere, claiming to be against rape and murder and genocide and animal abuse, claiming to be moral and just and ethical and responsible, it's hypocrisy. It's a double standard. It's literally lip service. Now, veganism, this is your chance to actually walk the compassionate talk that everyone's always talking about. This is your chance to show others how truly peaceful you are, to leave your mark on this planet by causing the least amount of harm possible. Now tell me, what is the argument for not causing the least amount of harm? Apathy, selfishness, inconvenience, indifference? I want you to know I don't live in fantasy land. I understand that animals are suffering and dying just because human beings exist on this planet with them. We build homes for their habitats, pollute their environments, and destroy their worlds. Is there any reason we need to be eating them on top of it all? Talk about pouring salt into somebody else's wound. 98%, and I repeat that stat, 98% of all the abuse, murder, torture, and injustice takes place in the fishing, meat, dairy, and egg industries. This is where all the harm is taking place. And in our country, from birth until death, each non-vegan consumes 3,000 land animals. Imagine being surrounded from here to the end of the bridge, all the way up the hill to Main Street, and all the way in every direction, 3,000 cows and pigs and chickens to die for nothing. We seem to do this because we all understand that we're meat eaters, we're omnivores and carnivores, and we're supposed to be doing this. Are you aware that physiologically the human body is 100% herbivorous? I will repeat that. You are a plant eater. You evolved from a monkey. There's nothing wrong with that. We are apes, just like our cousins, bonobos, chimpanzees, gorillas. Everything about us is herbivorous. Again, Brian Johnson, the world's literally most measured, literally healthiest human being, reduces biological speed of aging by 50% for every chronological year. He's vegan. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is the largest cohort of nutrition and dietetics experts on the planet. Over 100,000 credentialized practitioners that agree. Veganism is ideal for all stages of human life: infancy, youth, elderhood, pregnancy, athletes, black people, purple people, trans people, little people, big people. We are all herbivores. Our brains run on sugar. We have allomenes in our saliva. Our intestines are long. Our mouth and throat opening relative to head size is very small. Everything's the same ratio as all herbivores on the planet. Our teeth are short, blunt. Our jaws go from side to side. Only herbivores have jaws that are not locked into their skulls. You see a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a cat or a dog at home chewing, it's only up and down, vertical, rip and swallow. And here's a good one. Only herbivores can clog their arteries. Only us herbivores get heart attacks. If we were omnivores, not a single one of us would ever clog their arteries, get atherosclerosis, and die from heart disease. What's the number one killer of human beings to choose to eat meat, cheese, milk, and eggs? Heart disease. That's why Harvard says that vegans avoid the top 15 killers of death, live and stay younger an average of 10 years. I'm literally in my 40s. People think I'm like 25. There's nothing we need from them except their forgiveness, and the only thing that any vegan ever regrets is not doing it sooner. We are 100% herbivorous. We see in full color, by the way. Only herbivores do that, so we can tell when fruit is ripe and ready to eat. What happens to an avocado or an apple when it gets old? It gets ripe and ready to eat. What happens to individuals like fish and chickens and cows and turkeys when they get old? They get old because they're just like us. Now, if somebody out there really believes that we're real meat eaters, I'll give you 2 challenges to prove me wrong afterwards. Please do so if you wish. Challenge number 1, I want you to locate a squirrel, put that carnivore speed into effect. Everyone can apparently run 60 kilometers an hour. Chase the squirrel down, no weapons, tools, or cages. You can't be a liar and a cheater and a fake carnivore in this challenge. If you're a real omnivore, you can chase a squirrel down, catch him, pounce on them with your mouth. Be my guest, eat the squirrel, eyes, nose, face, toes, tail, anus, inner organs, blood, fur. Don't forget about the brains. And you don't get to cook them either. Put some ketchup sauce on them or season them. If we're real meat eaters, we'd have no problem eating seagulls and raccoons and squirrels down to the bone until there's nothing left but the bone day after day. Challenge number 2, find a 2-year-old child. Place them in the crib with a live bunny rabbit and an apple. If the child kills and eats the bunny rabbit and plays with the apple, let me know, will ya? I might consider things. But we all are herbivores. All of the scientific literature points to it. You can ask AI, Google, Siri, Alexa, any Ivy League university. You can talk to me. I have 200 points on this. And by the way, when you take in animal protein, it makes your blood acidic. You're an herbivore, your blood can't stay acidic for long or else you die, so your body leaches phosphate out of the bones and you pee out the calcium. So the more milk or meat you consume, the less calcium you have. And you can look this up as well. Broccoli per calorie has more iron than a steak. There's absolutely nothing we need from them. They're the poorest class in society. Veganism is the largest social justice movement on the planet. We are herbivores. It's easy to just overlook this. But if everybody understood that all animals from all species have a brain, a central nervous system, and pain receptors, they all suffer equally, they all value the one life they have, and they deserve dignity, rights, freedom, and respect to be treated in the spirit of brotherhood. If people just understood that we're not the only ones that matter, we're not the only ones that count, we're not that special, then the world would be a much better place. Now let's come to an agreement on the dairy industry. Let me know if I'm being unfair about this. I want to know. According to them, the main reason they exist so you can get calcium. Fair? Is that not their entire claim? Strong bones, strong body. Milk does the body good. Got milk? Check it out with the Department of Agriculture. Aside from India, we consume the most amount of dairy on the planet. You can't even get a sandwich anymore without cheese. We put cheese on every nook and every cranny of every single food item. We put it inside the pizza crust now. Might want to look this up. Dairy is as addictive as all opioids. So in this world where people are addicted to cheese, and I mean hooked, like it's been laced with weed, crack, ecstasy, morphine, and the antidote, most people cannot fathom one meal, let alone one day or lifetime without cheese. Even lactose intolerant people eat cheese. I don't care what anybody says about this. They might avoid straight up cow's milk, but slap a double cheese pepperoni pizza in front of a lactose intolerant person, no hesitation, it's going right down the hatch. So we got all these animal products and cheese and milk going on in our diets. How come when you turn on the TV, you got 3 commercials for calcium supplements, Actonel, Boniva, Citracal? Why do we have osteoporosis at all? We get everything we need from meat and cheese. That's what the dairy industry told us. Newsflash, you do not. Animal protein enters your blood, makes it acidic. Body leaches out the phosphate to neutralize the acidity, you pee out the calcium. That's why vegan societies, vegetarians, Rastafarians, Seventh-day Adventists, those who have little to no meat or dairy in their diet, have little to no rates of osteoporosis, bone fractures, or cancers. But veganism isn't about your health, that'd be selfish. I'm just making a point. And I'm also trying to get people to be unselfish for a change, to be altruistic. Do something kind for somebody else, and in doing so, expect nothing in return. When it comes to cruelty, I think there's more cruelty in a glass of cow's milk than a steak. I like to make my case verbally and visually. Please YouTube dairy is scary. If you choose to eat meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, at the very least, you're obligated to see the pain and the suffering that you are causing. If you do feel the need to close your eyes or turn away during slaughterhouse footage, you might want to ask yourself a question. If it's not good enough for my eyes, why is it good enough for my stomach? You ever wonder why McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, and Wendy's never show you those images in their TV ads? Instead, they show you smiling cartoon characters of animals singing and dancing and playing, lying to you, brainwashing you, and programming you not to care about things that you used to care about. I don't mean to talk down to people or dog you out like this, I'm not. It's just most people don't understand that individuals from all species go through the same things, the same emotions and feelings and thoughts that you go through, that we all go through. In order for a female mammal to produce milk, she has to be pregnant. So every cow on every dairy farm, every year is raped. They're put inside of what the industry calls a rape rack, where a pipette full of bull sperm is inserted into her vagina after the cervix is lifted through the anus. Once she is pregnant, this forces the milk flow. And again, standard legal industry practice in Canada, the baby cow, if they're born a boy, they get a sledgehammer to the face and they get executed. 10 minutes away from where we stand, they're innocent, living, vulnerable individuals getting a literal sledgehammer to the face to be executed on the day that they're supposed to be learning how to walk and suckle from their mother. Why does the dairy industry take babies away from their moms? Well, they can't have little babies sucking up all that milk that was meant for them when they'd rather sell it to you instead. The worst screams I've ever heard, and I've heard them all firsthand, when I first started finding out about this stuff, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought all the vegans were exaggerating. But unlike everybody else, I went to Thornapple Valley Pig Slaughterhouse in Detroit, spent 6 weeks to find out what's going on. Went behind the scenes of every circus and rodeo that ever came through town, vivisection laboratories, etc. The worst screams I've ever heard are a mother cow as she bellows and cries for her stolen baby to be given back to her, which I imagine is the same scream every woman here would make. Somebody held you down after birth and stole your newborn baby from you. Now let me reiterate the good news. You have hundreds of thousands of plant-based options, vegan milks, ice creams, and cheeses. This makes the stuff out of soy and hemp and rice and macadamia nuts. I'm sure you'll like one of the hundreds of thousands of options that are out there, or enjoy the 60,000 delicious edible plant species. And guess what? Nobody has to suffer and die for your dinner anymore, including you. I want to thank everybody for listening with an open mind. I really do appreciate that. I was just trying to recite Gary Yourofsky's The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear. If you have any questions about veganism, animal liberation, please feel free to ask. Again, in my own words, every animal is an individual. Human beings are herbivores. This is an undeniable truth. It's absolute fact. If you are not a vegan, you literally have the ethics of a child molesting pedophile. taking advantage of the most vulnerable and innocent individuals just because you can, ignoring the rights violations for pleasure. So I really encourage you to wake up, smell the fucking coffee, and go vegan, because enough already. You're not a caveman, you're not a cavewoman anymore. It's 2025, it's not funny, it isn't cute, because you're literally murdering the most vulnerable and innocent individuals on the planet. So I beg you to recognize that we are fallible creatures. We make mistakes. We don't know everything. Look this up or talk to me. I'll explain it to you. It's my life's mission. It's very simple. Every animal is an individual. Every human being's actually an herbivore. I didn't believe this when I first heard it until you start looking up on this stuff. So if you're not a vegan, you're just killing them for nothing. Hey man, how you doing?
I totally agree with everything you just said.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people can't admit that they've been making a mistake, and it's easy to forget, right? Yeah, it's easy to overlook.
I'm vegan also.
Right on, man.
My whole family, my wife and 2 kids became vegan 5 years ago.
Very cool.
All for similar reasons.
Like the ethics thing, yeah.
Ethics of it, absolutely. Treatment of animals, the environment, what you're supposed to put in your body in the first place, like all of that. Like holistically, veganism, like what you are, what you eat.
Yeah, it's like a consciousness, right?
Absolutely.
Right on, man.
Yeah, I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Go vegan.
I love you, man. Yeah, man, do it. All right, anyways, I'll hang out if anyone has any questions. There's a thing that vegans say, it's called name the trait. It's basically what's the difference between a human being and an animal that justifies doing to them what we would not do to ourselves. So if there's one thing you take away from this is ask yourself, how do you morally justify taking the life of an animal? I personally, I'll tell you my little story. I used to believe because we have forward-facing eyes that we're predators. And if our eyes would go side to side, that means we're prey, that we look out for predators. But instead, we focus forward for the hunt. I was very wrong. You know our brains run on sugar? Only herbivores' brains do that. If we were omnivores, it would be fat and protein. We see in full color. You've heard cats and dogs are colorblind. It's because they're meat eaters. They don't need to tell when an avocado's ripe or when an apple's ripe. We have almase in our saliva. It's acidic, it's not alkaline. We're the opposite. We get heart disease, atherosclerosis, heart disease. Top 15 leading killers are avoided by going vegan. If we were omnivores, we could eat raw meat. We can't do that. We literally die from eating meat. Look this up on your phone right fucking now. Show it to me. Look it up. It is impossible to clog the arteries of an omnivore. No cat, bear, lion, or tiger has ever got a heart attack and died. And who's in the hospitals? Are those vegans dying from eating apples and potatoes? Beans and rice is killing people? It's fucking milk. It's addictive. It lights up the same neurons in your brain as opioids. It's not morphine, it's a form of morphine. It's called casomorphines. This human women, all mammals, cows, they produce this. It's designed to keep the babies addicted to their mother's milk. And the system is exploiting this addiction. So like, once you are done weaning from your own mother's breast milk, you never need another drop of milk ever again. We are literally herbivores. We evolved from monkeys. We're just like bonobos and chimpanzees and gorillas. We're hairless, tailless apes. There's nothing we need from any animal. Another little white lie I used to say to myself is I'm not responsible. You know, I recycle. I keep the thermostat down. I do my part. I open doors for people. I'm a decent human being. It's not my responsibility what these corporations do, but it is. You're voting with your dollar. This isn't a technology we need to invent. Some war we have to win. We just have to stop paying for it. And you may appeal to futility and say, oh, I'm just a drop in the bucket. What is the ocean but a multitude of drops? We are all paying for them. So we have to take responsibility for our victims. Statistically, our own government, the Department of Agriculture says every non-vegan will consume 3,000 land animals. So I beg you, on behalf of the ghosts of, imagine 3,000 cows around you. You're getting their throats slit for you. Are we supposed to bow at the altars of humanity? Are we gods? They don't deserve this. Please go vegan. Ask yourself, why the hell have you not? Thank you. Thanks. Oh, fucking just let me go. For fuck's sakes. You know, like one viewer, one positive interaction, but you'll see me next year. It'll be different. There will be people in various countries doing the same thing. There will be me, myself, doing this every day. That's why I call it the Vow of Loudness. It's like hyperbole. It's like the vow of silence, except why would I be quiet when the animals need a voice? If you're not vegan, please do something. Just hold a sign for 10 minutes. You hold a sign for 10 minutes anywhere. Someone will talk to you. You will get better, you will get comfortable, and eventually you can have conversations with people like I have. Not today, but they will have a vegan conclusion, and you're so powerful just by being in the position of being a human being who knows the truth. So don't squander it, don't keep it to yourself, and keep them in mind. And take care of yourselves. Don't let this world get to you. I try to sort of not take disrespect or injustice personally. I try to just overlook it and really focus on the animals, because they get the most disrespect and the most injustice. So I hope you are inspired at least to do something. Thank you.